Good morning friends. Let's start the new chapter of physics, that is force. The second chapter of physics, force. So first you should know what is force. In previous class you have learned that force is a push or pull is called the force. But now in class 9 it's not enough to say that the force is a push or the pull. You can explain force like you know the different effect of force? Yeah, you have learned it in class 8 that what are the different effect of forces. Force can change the speed of a body. Change the speed of a body. Take for example, suppose you are moving in a bicycle and this is a bicycle and you are moving in a bicycle line. Okay, this is a bicycle and you are moving in a bicycle and you start paddling fast. Then what will happen? Your speed will be changed. So it means we can change the speed of a body by applying the force. So we can say this is the effect of a force. The first effect of force is the speed can change the force can change the speed of a body. And you can take another examples. You can just imagine what are the different examples to show that the force can change the speed of a body. Now, what is a different effect of force? And second one is we can say that the force can move a stationary body. Suppose again you are in bicycle and your bicycle is stationary at any point and you start paddling on your bicycles. Then what will happen? You change the speed of your bicycle. It means you change the speed from 0 to something like 2 or 3 meter per second or any number. So it can move, a force can move a stationary body. Stationary body can move a stationary body. So you can think what are the different examples which show that the force can move a stationary body. Suppose a football is here in front of you and you kick the football. What happens? The football gains some velocity. It means you move a velocity, you move a football. It means you change the velocity, don't change, you actually move a stationary football. So this is the second effect of force. Different other one is a force can stop a moving body. Again, you are in bicycle and you are moving with some certain speed and by applying brakes, you can stop your bicycle. It means by applying the force, you can stop a moving body. And you can think another examples of which show that the force can stop a moving body. So we can say force can stop a moving body. Okay. So these are the three effective forces. We have 5 effective forces. First one, it can change the speed of a body, it can move a stationary body, it can stop a moving body, and it can also change the direction of a moving body. Suppose you are playing a cricket and a football is coming, a cricket ball is coming towards you. What happened? You hit the ball by using your bat and you change the direction of a ball. It means ball is coming like this and by this bat you change the direction of this ball. So it means force can change the direction of an object. It can change the direction of a body. So force can change the direction of a body. And the last but not the least, what is the effect of force? Force can change the shape of a body. For example, you have a balloon and suppose you press this balloon by your hands. Then what will happen? The shape of this balloon will be changed due to the force applied by you force applied by your hands. So it means by applying force we can change the shape of a body. So we can say the force can change the shape of a body. So these are the 5 effective forces. And according to these effective forces, we can also define force like a force which can change or tend to change the speed of a body. It move or tend to move a stationary body. It is stop or tend to stop a moving body. It can change or tend to change the direction of a body. It can change or tend to change the shape of a body. So it means a force actually change or it try to change these effective forces that we will say the force is applied. आप कह सकते हो कि अगर कोई फोर्स कब लगता है कि अगर उसकी स्पीड चेंज हो जाए या फिर फोर्स कोशिश कर रहा है उसको चेंज करने की. सपोज एग्जांपल है शेप ऑफ अ बॉडी का कि आप इस बॉल को आप प्रेस करोगे दोनों तरफ से पकड़ के भी तो भी आप बॉल को प्रेस नहीं कर सकते. So it means it doesn't matter that you are not applying the force. You are applying the force. So it means the force actually it do not always change the shape of a body, but it can change or tend to change. It can change or tend to change. या तो change कर सकता है, कोशिश कर सकता है to shape of a body or direction of a body or stop a moving body or move a stationary body or change the speed of a body. So we can define the force like this. This is the force. And now you can think the different examples of different effective forces or these 5 effective forces. You can think about any examples of these effects. Now the balanced and unbalanced force. I'm going to explain you balanced and unbalanced force. So in your notebook you will write the definition of force, different effect of forces. And according to the effect of forces, you can define the force. Now, balanced and unbalanced force. Balanced force and unbalanced force. For understand what is the balanced force, let's take one example. Suppose this is a wooden block of any mass and a boy applied a force from here which is equal to the 5 Newton. Actually Newton is the SI unit of force. So for example, a boy applied a force from this side which is equal to 5 Newton. Another boy applied the force but in the opposite direction which is 10 Newton. Then what will happen? This wooden block will move in the direction of the larger force. It means if someone applied the force more than this one, that is at 10 Newton, then what is the exit force is acting on this block? It is 5 Newton. And in which direction? In this direction. So here the force is called the unbalanced force. There are 2 other forces are also acting on this object, that is its weight in downward direction and the binary force. So I will explain you binary force in 3rd chapter, but now this is called the binary force. But these forces are equal to one another, so they cancel out each other. Now in these cases, these 2 forces are not equal, so they do not cancel out each other. So object start moving. So we can say the balanced forces. Okay, sorry, I explained the unbalanced force. So okay, I am writing here unbalanced force. Unbalanced force. Okay, then I will explain you the balanced force. So this is the unbalanced force where all the resultant force acting on a body is not zero. It's called the unbalanced force. Or due to this unbalanced force, our body start moving. Yeah, we can change the shape, speed or everything by applying the unbalanced force. So unbalanced forces, if the net resultant force means the sum of all the forces acting on a body. Since a force is a vector quantity, so we always represent the force with a sign. Like if we represent this force by the positive sign, then we have to represent this force by using the negative sign. So we will say plus 5 and minus 10 Newton. So what is the resultant force here? It is minus 5 Newton. Minus 5 Newton means minus sign show that the resultant force is acting in this direction. So this is called the unbalanced force, where all the resultant force acting on a body is not equal to 0. And due to this unbalanced force, the body starts moving. And what about the balanced force? If the force acting on a body, the sum of all the forces acting on a body is 0, we will say that force acting on this object is balanced force. So balanced force do not change the speed, either do not move a stationary body, and cannot stop the moving body. So the balanced force is, suppose one boy is applying force from this direction, which is equal to 5 Newton. Another boy applying the same force but in the opposite direction. Opposite direction means if you represent this force by positive sign, then you have to represent this force by negative sign. So what is the total force? What is the sum of all the forces acting on it? It is equal to 0. So we will say if the resultant force acting on a body is equal to 0, it is called the balanced force. Resultant force equal to 0. So the sum of all the forces acting on a body is 0, then we will say that it is a balanced force. And since the force is vector quantity, so we always represent the force with their sign, either positive or the negative. So this is about the balanced and unbalanced force. Now I am going to explain you, Newton's law of motion. So first we have learned what is force, what are the effective forces, what are the two different types of forces that are the balanced and the unbalanced forces. Now I will explain you what is the Newton's law of motion. So the chapter is the force and the laws of motion. So the three laws of motion are there, which were given by Newton, the scientist Newton. So let's start the Newton's first law. So Newton was a scientist who gave the three laws about the motion of a body. So this is called the Newton laws of motion. Newton's law of motion. So now I am going to explain you the first law, that is also called the law of inertia. So let's start the Newton first law, that is the law of inertia. For understanding law of inertia, first we should know what is inertia actually. Inertia is a tendency of a body to oppose any change in its state of rest or a uniform motion. I think it was not clear to you. I am going to explain you what is inertia. Inertia is a property of a body. It means suppose we have two balls. One is a very big and heavy ball and the other one is a small and a very light ball. Like this is a ball, table tennis ball, yes. And other one is a heavy ball. Actually, I don't know types of ball. So I'm taking a stone. Yeah, a round stone. It would be hammer. So both are stationary. Both are uniformly at rest. Initially at rest. Initially they are at rest. In which case you have to apply the more force for changing the state of rest. If you want to change the state of rest, it means you want to move the ball, say the ball or the stone. What will you have to do? You have to apply some force on it. So in which case you have to apply more force. So obviously we can understand that we have to apply more force here in the case of the stone other than this table tennis ball. So it means, what is this property? It means why we have to apply more force here in this case where the stone is larger, and in this case where this ball is so small and light in weight. So in this case why we have to apply less force? Obviously it depends on the mass of the body. And this tendency of the body that is opposed in a change in state of rest or the uniform motion. So actually this property of a body which actually oppose the change of the state of rest or uniform motion. Due to this tendency that it want to be at rest, we have to apply more force. In this case, we have to apply less force because it has a less tendency. So what is the exact name which we given to it to this tendency? This is called the inertia. Inertia is actually depend on the mass of a body. Greater the mass, greater the inertia. It depends. If you want to change the state of rest, you have to apply the more force where the mass is greater. Like this example. And same as we can say if some object is moving, like this is a truck, a heavy loaded truck. How can you make a truck? Yeah, this is a truck. Okay, and it is moving with some velocity. Okay, this is a truck and moving is with some velocity, and this is a small car. And they both are moving with the same velocity. So I think that's a typical example. Okay. And now one powerful man who has a great strength. So one powerful man come to stop both the truck and the car. And suppose they are moving with the same velocity, like they are moving with a speed of 10 km per hour. So, in which case that powerful man have to apply more force. Obviously, in case of this truck, a large truck. So, why it happens? Because this truck has a larger mass as compared to this car. So, in this case, since it has a large mass, so for changing the speed, it means to change the speed, it means if we want to come to this body to rest, we have to apply the more force. It means what is a particular name for this tendency which oppose this change in a state of rest or the motion. This tendency is called inertia and it totally depends on the mass of the body. So this is about the inertia. So first law of Newton is, Newton's first law is law of inertia. We also call the Newton's first law as a law of inertia. So, what is the law of inertia? According to Newton's first law, that is the law of inertia, we can say that according to Newton's first law, not the tendency, we will say if a body at rest will remain at rest. For example, the balls and the stone. The body at rest will remain at rest and body's motion will remain in motion in a uniform speed, with a uniform speed in a straight line. Again, a body at rest will remain at rest and a body in motion in a straight line will continue in a motion in a straight line until it is compelled by some external force to change the speed, to change the state of rest or the uniform motion. मैंने आपको ये पूरा अभी समझाया है कि लॉ ऑफ इनर्शिया क्या है कि जो बॉडी होती है अगर वो रुकी है तो रुकी रहेगी और अगर किसी कांस्टेंट स्पीड से चल रही है तो उसी स्पीड से चलती रहेगी जब तक आप उस पर कोई एक्सटर्नल फोर्स अप्लाई ना करें, उसको स्पीड को चेंज करने के लिए या उसको रुकने से चलाने के लिए. सो इसको आप कहते हैं न्यूटन फर्स्ट लॉ. दिस इज कॉल्ड लॉ ऑफ इनर्शिया. नाउ वी कैन डिवाइड द लॉ ऑफ इनर्शिया इनटू द थ्री पार्ट्स: inertia of rest, inertia of motion and inertia of direction. And on these three laws we have our different applications. Like first, the law of inertia of rest. So you have to write the Newton first law. So what is the Newton first law? A body at rest will remain at rest and a body in motion will continue in a motion in a straight line until it is compelled by some external force to change the speed of body, to change the state of rest or a uniform motion. So you will write this law in your notebook. Now we divide this law. To understand this law, actually we divided it into three parts. First one, inertia of rest. So what is inertia of rest? So I explained you what is inertia. Inertia is a tendency of a body to change, to oppose a change in a state of rest or uniform motion. So you can also write the definition of inertia. Again I am telling you, inertia is a tendency of a body to change the state of rest or uniform motion. This is the inertia. So according to inertia of rest, if a body at rest will remain at rest until it is compelled by some external force to change the state of rest. This is the law of inertia of rest. Again I am telling you, inertia of rest is if a body at rest will remain at rest until it is compelled by some external force to change the state of rest. तो inertia of rest क्या है? Inertia of rest बॉडी की वो टेंडेंसी है कि अगर वो जो है रुकी है तो वो रुकी रहेगी जब तक आप उस पर कोई एक्सटर्नल फोर्स अप्लाई नहीं करोगे. अगर मैं कह रही हूँ कि ये बोर्ड यहाँ पे लग रहा है और ये चल नहीं रहा है, तो जब तक आप उस पर कोई फोर्स अप्लाई नहीं करोगे इट कांट मूव. या किसी और की बात करके आपकी साइकिल खड़ी है आपके घर में, तो वो जब तक खड़ी रहेगी जब तक आप उसको कोई फोर्स अप्लाई नहीं करेंगे. तो दिस इज कॉल्ड द इनर्शिया ऑफ रेस्ट. ओके, सो यू विल राइट द इनर्शिया ऑफ रेस्ट इन योर नोटबुक. आई एम गोइंग टू एक्सप्लेन यू सम एग्जांपल्स ऑफ द इनर्शिया ऑफ रेस्ट. सो वन एग्जांपल इज, you ever seen this activity? I think you've done this activity also. You have done this activity at your home. This is a glass tumbler actually, and we placed a cardboard over it. This is a cardboard, and we place a coin on this cardboard. Okay, so this is a glass and we place a cardboard over it with a coin of 10 rupees. Yes, this is a 10 rupee coin. Now what will happen if you push this card with your hand? What will happen? Just imagine, you can do yourself, you can do it at your home. So what will happen? Actually this coin drop into this glass. If we move this cardboard, if we push this cardboard or pull this cardboard with a great force, then what will happen? This coin will drop into the glass. It do not move with this cardboard. Why? So this is one of the application of inertia of rest. So you can write these applications like, the first application is, if we place a coin on a glass over a cardboard and we push the cardboard with a great force, the coin drop into the coin. So this is the one application. This is application only. So the question can be asked that why this coin drop in a glass when we push a cardboard with a great force? So you will write it in a notebook. You can write the answer like this. Initially the cardboard and the coin are at rest. Why at rest? Due to the inertia of it, due to this tendency to remain at rest. So initially the card and the coins are at rest. If we forcefully pull the card, we push the card from the glass, what will happen? Due to inertia of rest, the coin remain at rest and it drop into the glass. एक बार फिर से समझाती हूँ मैं आपको. जैसे आपने ग्रेट फोर्स के साथ इसको खींचा, बाहर निकाला, इसको आपने खींचा, तो ये जो आपका कॉइन था ये रेस्ट में ही रहेगा ड्यू टू इनर्शिया ऑफ रेस्ट और ग्लास के अंदर गिर जाता है. तो दिस इज वन ऑफ द एप्लीकेशन. नाउ lots of applications are there for the inertia of rest. Other one is, suppose you are moving in a bus. Suppose this is your school bus. I know that you are not coming to school due to this corona, but when you move in a school bus like this is your school bus, Horizon. So this is your school bus. Now you are sitting like this. You are sitting here, and your bus driver suddenly start bus. suppose you are talking with your friends and you're not aware that your driver is going to start your bus. Then what will happen? You move in a forward direction, sorry, in a backward direction. So when a bus starts suddenly, you move in a backward direction. So what happens? Actually what happens, when we move in a bus, initially when we are in bus, the bus is at rest due to inertia of rest, and you are at rest due to inertia of rest. So suppose this is your this is your seat. So initially you and bus are at rest. Now what happens when your bus start moving in forward direction? When this bus start moving in forward direction, what happens, since you are not aware, your legs are in contact with the bus. Since they are in contact with the bus, they start moving with the bus. Your legs are in contact with the bus, they start moving along with the bus. Now your upper body have a tendency to remain at rest due to the inertia of rest. Then what will happen? You falls in a backward direction. So this is explanation when we are in a bus and bus suddenly start. We move in a backward direction. This is explanation of this one. Now you can write this application. You can write the explanation why we move in a backward direction in a notebook. So okay, first of all write the application one is, if a bus starts suddenly, we falls in a backward direction. Now I am going to explain the explanation of it. So please write the explanation. When we are in bus, we are at rest along with the bus. And when the bus starts suddenly, our foot which are in contact with the bus remain at rest, will continue to move with the bus, but our upper body remain at rest due to the inertia of rest, and due to which we falls in a backward direction. So this is the example of inertia of rest. So there are most of example of inertia of rest. Okay, I am taking one more example. Have you seen your mama clean your carpets with a stick? She hang the carpet on a wire like this or in a ball and beat it with a stick. And by beating the carpet with a stick, actually all the dust falls down. What happens in this case when we beat a carpet with a stick? So this is a carpet, suppose, and it has a lot of dust. Okay, so this is a carpet having a lot of dust. Now what happens? Your mama start a stick. Your mama start to, what will you see? We beat a carpet with a stick. Now what will happen? This carpet along with this stick come in motion. When we beat a carpet with a stick, the carpet come in motion with this stick, but the dust particles which are present in a carpet remain at rest due to the inertia of rest, and it falls down due to gravity. So this is one of the application of why the carpet clean, why the dust particles of the carpet remove by beating it with the stick. So you can write the answer like this. When we beat the carpet with a stick, the carpet come in motion with the stick and the dust particles remain at rest due to the inertia of rest and falls down. So these are some examples of the inertia of rest. So we have lots of examples of inertia of rest. Now in next video I will explain you two different inertia, two different effects of inertia, different type of inertia. Second one is the inertia of motion. According to inertia of motion, if a body is in motion, it will continue in a uniform motion until we apply some force on it. So this is called the inertia of motion. And the next one is inertia of direction. So if a body is moving in a particular direction, it will continue to move in a particular direction until we apply some force on it. And there are lots of applications like this of inertia of motion and inertia of direction. So I will explain you these parts in next video. Okay, bye.